Hey, what is going on, you guys? The Keith Carnes here, and I just watched the 2013 SummerSlam pay-per-view from last night, as of this recording, and I have to say this was one of the best pay-per-views I have seen in a long time. Definitely the best SummerSlam in many years. So without further ado, let's get to the results right away. Obviously, warning, this contains spoilers. If you haven't seen the show and you want to see it, or whatever the case, if you're seeing this right away, then don't watch, obviously. I shouldn't have to tell you that, but some people are stupid. Anyway, SummerSlam had a little bit of a kickoff show. WWE's been doing this a lot lately with pre-shows, especially on big events like SummerSlam. So Rob Van Dam challenged the Shield's Dean Ambrose for the United States Championship. I watched this one actually on a high-definition TV because I get all my pay-per-views for free, but I watch them online. So it was cool to see this in really true 1080p HD. It was a really solid match, especially for a pre-show match. It wasn't even on the official SummerSlam card, which was kind of surprising, especially when you had Cody Rhodes versus Dean Ambrose on the official card. Cody Rhodes versus Damien Sandow on the official card. I think that would have been more suitable as a pre-show match, but whatever. The United States title was up for grabs. Like I said, it was a pretty solid match. But of course, the usual bullshit happened. You know, the Shield went to interfere, and then for absolutely no reason, and it made no sense whatsoever, Mark Henry and Big Show come out to save Rob Van Dam. So to kind of even the odds, but it was Rob Van Dam who was about to get the win, and then Roman Reigns, I believe his name is, comes in, spears the shit out of RVD, and gives Dean Ambrose the 3. Dean Ambrose walks away still. Doesn't give him a 3, gets a disqualification, my bad. Yeah, not a bad match, but not great either. I definitely would have rather seen it on the card, but they really, in my opinion, they really need to stop the whole interference by the Shield, because it's just really old. It's very repetitive. Anyway, so the official show started. The Ring of Fire match was actually surprisingly the first match on the card. It was Kane versus the in-ring debut of Bray Wyatt with the Wyatt family at ringside. Now, this was actually a better match than I expected. I don't know what's been up with Kane lately. Maybe the guy's just getting old and, just not as good as he once was. But Kane's matches are always really slow-paced, and Kane, I could tell, was just kind of making this match sloppier than it should have been. So in the end, I think this was a decent match. It was definitely worth watching. It was a good match. It was cool to see the, Inferno match type thing return after a long absence, but it wasn't anything to write home about, so to speak. But it was a pretty good match. It was actually, the interference by the Wyatt family, of course, that would give Bray Wyatt the win. Pretty good match. Pretty good debut for Bray Wyatt. Nice to see the guy in action finally. Next up was Damien Sandow versus former good best friend, I guess you could say, Cody Rhodes. This was probably one of the weakest matches on the card besides the shit Diva match. It was okay. Like I said, this definitely could have happened on Raw, SmackDown, or the pre-show. I don't think that it was a very good match. Definitely, like I said, the second weakest match on the card. I just didn't see the big hoopla about that. Next up was a surprisingly good match. The World Heavyweight title was it was Cody Rhodes who got a clean win over Damien Sandow. Though I didn't really agree with it. I understood why they did it. They're trying to build up Cody Rhodes a little more as a face. I understand that, but I think that Damien Sandow should have definitely gotten the win, seeing that he is currently holding the world title briefcase. So I don't know, just my opinion. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Christian challenged Alberto Del Rio, who is by far the worst world champion we've had in a very long time, for the World Heavyweight Champion. Surprisingly good back and forth match. I actually really enjoyed this one a lot more than I thought, seeing that I cannot stand Alberto Del Rio. Is just a horrible in-ring wrestler, horrible on the mic. Everything about this guy sucks. How he has a job in WWE, I will never know. But it was surprisingly a good match. Disappointing to see Christian walk out. the loser in this one. It was Del Rio that made Christian tap out to the armbar. I was disappointed. I really wanted to see Christian as the World Heavyweight Champion again. I don't understand why Del Rio is still the World Champion and Dolph Ziggler is now out of the World title picture. Very fucking stupid. Bullshit by WWE. But it was actually a pretty good match, but the outcome kind of taints the match for me, if you will. Next up was the worst match on the card, Natalya with the Funkadactyls versus Brie Bella with Nikki Bella and Eve Marie. Such a stupid fucking match. I actually didn't even watch it. But the winner was Natalya. But it was just so dumb, I just skipped the shit out of it. I'll be honest, I did not watch it. Now, this was the most anticipated match for me. I know a lot of people wanted to see the WWE title, but this, in my opinion, was the best match on the card. Not by just, it's Lesnar versus Punk. Not because of that. It was because this, honestly, turned out to be a show stiller. Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk, they're two of my favorites. I was completely neutral in this match. I didn't care really who won, but I was really expecting Punk to come out the victor, and I really loved how WWE gave Brock Lesnar the win. Brock Lesnar getting a clean win on Punk by F5ing him onto a chair and getting a 1-2-3. I mean, it was just a great back and forth match. A lot of very, very near falls. I think Brock Lesnar proved himself in this match. Brock Lesnar's gotten a lot of flack since coming back to the WWE as people saying he's just there for the money, he's lazy in his matches. I definitely think people can definitely now officially shut the fuck up and eat their words. Next up was another match I skipped on the card. Very stupid match. The match was Dolph Ziggler and Caitlyn versus Big E Langston and AJ Lee. I didn't care about this. I think the whole feud with the two is really lazy. Like I said, Dolph Ziggler should be world champion, and I was just so disgusted that Dolph Ziggler was not in the world title match that I didn't even watch this match. So I can't judge it. But, I just can't judge it. So, we'll move on. So, next up was the most anticipated match on the card. It was Daniel Bryan challenging John Cena for the WWE Championship with Triple H as a special guest referee. As expected, this was a very good match. Daniel Bryan was very impressive. The Los Angeles audience was just amazing. I was very, very blown away at how involved the audience was and the amount of reception that Daniel Bryan got was just awesome. The crowd there was one of the best crowds of the year. And this was definitely the second best match on the card. And I gotta admit, even though, and it was cool to see Daniel Bryan go completely fair, just cleanly pin Cena to mat 1-2-3 in controversial fashion. I don't know why they couldn't just make Cena tap, because they're just so scared to not have Cena be the fucking Superman, I guess. But Cena really should have tapped out, in my opinion. But Daniel Bryan won with a running knee to the head. Really lame way to end the match. Like I said, Cena should have tapped. Daniel Bryan never wins a match by a running knee, so that was really stupid. But then after the match, Daniel Bryan's in the ring celebrating, the confetti's going off and all that shit, and then all of a sudden, Randy Orton, the holder of the WWE title Money in the Bank briefcase, comes out, mocks Daniel Bryan like he's going to cash it in, and then goes to walk away. Out of nowhere, Triple H pedigrees Daniel Bryan. Orton runs into the ring, cashes in the Money in the Bank, gets a 3 count, and becomes the WWE Champion. And therefore, your new and now current WWE Champion, Randy Orton. Now, this was really cool that they did this, because it was very surprising the way they did it. A lot of people knew that it was going to be cashed in, but a lot of people figured that Orton would just simply get a clean win over Daniel Bryan. But to see Triple H turn Major heel, and now hopefully this will turn into maybe an Evolution reunion, or at least an alliance between Randy Orton and the McMahons. Who knows what's going to happen on Raw. But that was an awesome show, you guys. From a 1 to 5, 1 being horrible, 5 being amazing, I would give this show an easy 5 out of 5. It was just an excellent SummerSlam. Like I said, one of the best SummerSlams in years. And if you haven't seen it and maybe you think about buying it on Blu-ray when it comes out, I recommend it. I'll probably pick it up on Blu-ray as soon as I can. Anyway, guys, that's it. WWE did very well with this year's SummerSlam. Like I said, I don't mean to repeat myself over and over, but SummerSlam 2013 was one of the best SummerSlams in SummerSlam's history. Brock Lesnar versus Punk and Daniel Bryan versus Cena were the two best, with Lesnar-Punk being better, in my opinion. So that's about it. So thank you for viewing the video. You guys have a great one. And I will be reviewing Night of Champions on the 15th of September. That's about it. The Keith Carnes. Peace.